called in
to Box and Brews, you might hear something
you can use.
like tips on your cash and tips on the suds.
You're gonna want to
The
use
smarts of these stuff.
because they know the
And
brews.
they know the box, and they know they can't help the stubborn fucks.
So listen up, because shit's not funny.
Save yourself some
Beer money. Bucks
and brews.
Bucks and
Bucks and brews.
brews.
Bucks and Brews.
Welcome back to Bucks and Brews. 5 hours last week, Nick.
Yeah, we rocked it.
We did. That was a good time. The first episode will be up next Monday, and the second one will be up the following Monday after we do a little bit of editing because we were a little happy by the end of that episode. 5 hours of talking.
5 hours of talking.
We had a little bit of beer,
Yep.
and we might be a little bit kind of sort of alcoholics, maybe. I don't know.
So we have 5 hours of fun time.
We did have fun times. You have a bit of a sponsorship again tonight.
We
from
do.
Mr. Benson.
Mr. Benson with the Rogue Raspberry sour ale brewed with raspberry, some other stuff, and it's from Rogue, which I'm really excited. And
Rogue
then
has good beers.
I have which I don't think's from Mike. I think
That's
it was
for
just-
me.
Oh, it was okay.
That's for me.
Yeah, Bud Light Seltzer Mango, which I do enjoy Bud Light Seltzers.
I'm not a mango guy, so that's all you.
And then I say I'm gonna get into my mom bought me 24 days of beer, and I brought him here to start drinking them there. So from Mob Craft Brewing, we'll see what I drink of these, and I'll list off what I had at the end of that. So
Sounds good to me. I'm having some peanut butter and jelly tonight.
there you go.
So I got some from Elk Brewing in Michigan here. Some peanut butter porter.
Which is no longer a thing.
Yeah, they're closed.
Yeah,
But this is a good peanut butter porter.
it was.
There are other better ones though.
Oh, of course,
And then I'm mixing it with triple jam from Blake's.
which is great.
And when I get done with that from Rourke, the French toast double dog oatmeal stout.
There you go.
Nick, you have something new to show off over there in green.
I do. For the people that are joining us, Saturday the 4th.
The 4th.
February for Byron Center Comic Con.
Yep.
We have these really awesome green Bucks and Brews cups.
Yep.
They're not as sweet as our two of a kind custom glasses, but these are really, really cool. Say a financial podcast, Bucks and Brews, and it's got a picture of you and I on there. And
Handsome
it's,
man.
and it's on both sides. So yeah, these are really, really cool. Green like money, because that's who we are.
That is absolutely correct.
So yeah, really, really excited to see those. I was hanging out with some friends, and you gave me a coaster, and I had it in my back pocket, and I was like, here you go. And he's like, all right, it's pretty all right. I was like, every time I come to your house, I better have that coaster, right?
Right.
So yeah, excited for all the things that we have and what we're going to be giving out. So
Vanessa, if you're free that day, you should swing up to Byron Center. It's a free con, and I'm sure Jacob would have a lot of fun running around with the geeks.
Honestly, he's not into that kind of stuff.
me neither.
Well, if you want, you can come get some free Bucks and Brews shit. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you'll find me at some point,
Otherwise,
and we'll get
don't
into
show
it
up.
later.
No.
We're joined by Vanessa, who has joined us countless times to talk about her debt.
Yeah.
And so I had a friend ask me a little bit ago what to do about their mounting debt, and they just feel overwhelmed, and they didn't really know where to start, what to do, how to even think of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured it'd be a good time for you and I to talk debt again. And I had crippling debt at one point, and that's well over a decade ago,
Yeah.
going on 2 decades ago. Whereas Vanessa's a little more recent debt that she's been working at knocking down. She's done a lot of good knocking it down, even though I know she's had a hard couple months here, but think of where you'd be without every month leading up to that.
Yeah.
So I figured she could throw some good 2 cents in here on, how she attacked it and her frame of mind. And we're just gonna kind of talk about, where to start and what to do and how to mentally prepare, I guess, for this.
Right. I mean, it's both physically and mentally. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. I want to start out by saying like everything, right? admitting it is the first step, right? Like, hey, I do have debt. Just as much as weight loss for us, right? Like,
Yeah.
in theory, both you and I know how to lose weight.
Oh, absolutely.
We just aren't doing it, right? I mean,
right.
people know. I mean, I would assume most people would, I guess, know how to, budget and things like that or whatever. They just don't do it, right? It's taking those steps. So
When I sent you a message to say what I thought we should do this week, I loved your response. So we're talking budgeting again.
So yeah,
Which, yeah, I mean, that is definitely part of it.
well, it's part, yeah. I mean, and a lot of it
I think
is,
there's a lot more than just budgeting that goes into it.
Oh, there
I
definitely
mean,
is.
Yeah.
and when you look at it, I mean, again, it goes back to the losing weight thing. So there's more than just work out and eat healthy. I mean, we know that there's so much more to this. So, I guess, and we'll start out with kind of the three. You guys want to see if this one's a scam?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to see if it's a scam.
Bucks and Brews, it's Nick. Hello. I'm gonna need an answer from you.
Well, hello.
Shoot. I tried.
That sucks.
All
Fucking
right.
scammers.
So, right, like, I'd like to figure out, Dave, we talked to you, you were in the lowest, right? I mean, you guys actually went to bankruptcy.
Yes.
Vanessa, you hit quite a bit of debt and you started working on it. We've had you on a couple of episodes. Personally, right, I'm probably in more debt than you guys combined. Which isn't
Because you have a lot of houses.
right,
there,
but I mean, like, I'll share a little bit about, like, when my wife and I first were dating
Yeah.
and things. Like, she actually was in debt, right? So, for me, it was just, I'm a very go get, like, hit it on right here, right now. I mean, I took out some college debt and literally just all my paychecks. Granted, I was fortunate at the time. I lived at home. And so I pay my quick bills and, like, everything would just go towards this debt. So, I mean, I had mine paid off in no time, right?
Right.
Because I was fortunate in that. My wife, when we were dating, before we even got married and stuff, I was like, oh, what do you got? And she's like, oh, I have a K's card, right? K's the jewelry place or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Or a Victoria's
Every
Secret.
kiss begins with
Right. The fuck, you don't even wear jewelry. I'm like, why do you have a jewelry thing? Well, I wanted a ring and, I could finance $100 and now it's 400. And I was like, what the hell? So, we kind of go through stuff and we're young because we got married really young, but.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like you came from great financial guidance.
Right.
Hers might have been worse.
It's weird. The guidance was worse. Yeah. I mean, but, like, we were poor, which
Yeah.
is really weird, right?
Yeah.
Like,
You had less money, but your financial sense was better.
yeah, very much. My mom, before I even knew who Dave Ramsey is, my mom was a Dave Ramsey person.
Yeah.
Or is a Dave Ramsey person without knowing that she is.
Right.
Growing up, literally, if she didn't have cash in her pocket, we couldn't buy it.
Mhm.
My mom didn't have a debit card until probably, not over exact, like 2 years ago. She is 60, so probably 58 years old.
Yeah.
And finally, like, she had to do something. She needed a card, and I was like, you have to. And then she's like, "Oh, this is pretty nice." And I was like, "No shit."
My mother's 70. She has one. She never uses it.
Right. Which,
In Lake Michigan, you have to swipe it 10 times.
yeah,
I do her debits for her.
let's say
1 cent 10 times.
there you go. And
My
that's
father-in-law still does not have a debit card.
And he's how old?
71, 72.
Yeah.
right. I mean, you could still live your life on cash, and especially if
He
you're,
still writes a check at Meyer.
Yep.
I was, oh my gosh, right? And, like, I didn't realize how old I was because I write checks, right? And, like, I do.
You're an old young person. Because most people, Caitlin, has
Excuse
never
me.
written her own check.
Right. She goes to the bank, has it made out, and does
Yeah.
all that. Yeah. I see,
Or she does it electronically on the bank's website.
which blows my mind. But I look at those types of things. And so I will say that it was growing up that way. I mean, if you didn't have the money, you didn't go spend the money, right? So we never really got to that point. Yeah, no, my wife's family, on the other hand, they were completely fine with credit card debt, with every debt, right? I mean, I would say they wanted to live like the Joneses. So, right, how to keep up with them people, and it crushed them plenty of times, and I personally don't think they ever learned from it.
Well, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
You are. No,
You bought their house.
I did.
So, I mean,
Yep.
And we don't have to go any further than that.
Yep, that's the answer. The answer is yes. But you know, and so going back to my wife, right? Like, because I don't know, I never listened to Dave Ramsey. I didn't listen to Dave Ramsey until I was older, because granted, I was doing right things. Granted, some wrong, because in his opinion, investing in real estate was bad. But like, even though I was financially doing well, there was always that, hey, can I do better? And that was the only name I've really ever heard of, kind of a thing, right? But you know, so my wife and I were talking, and she's, you know, she's not much in debt, man. I don't remember. I was like $1,300, let's just say. And then we go file taxes, and I was like, hey, I have an accountant, come with me, as a girlfriend, right? She's getting a return, and she's like, oh, got money. And I was like, she's like, oh, what am I gonna do? And I was like, you're gonna pay off your fucking credit card, and you're gonna do this, and you owe, you know, these 3 things that equal $1,300, and you're getting 17. So congrats, you have $400 to spend. And she's like, no, I have 1,700 to spend. And I was like, no, you owe these people fucking money. Like, right. And it's funny because now she believes me and trusts me a little bit more, but like back then I was probably the biggest dick, and but like
still are.
Right. Like,
Just
but
back
you know,
then, Nick?
what's that?
Just back then.
Yeah. I mean, cause now it's not, it's a dick from, you know,
You're coming from the right place.
a
to
good
be the
place,
dick,
right? Like, you know, back
You're a
then,
good dick instead of just a huge dick.
right? Like back then, it was like we're not even fucking married or anything, and I'm telling this woman what to do. But you know, and then we pulled credit a while ago, and my wife actually had a better credit score than me, but she has no debt in her name, right?
Well, you know, it's kind of a funny thing, and I have a feeling Vanessa can relate to this. So, you know, Dawn, a single mom, when we got together, is used to getting these huge returns.
Yeah.
And then we had to pay for shit.
No.
And she's like, no, but I get to spend like $500 on me and $500 on Kayla. I'm like, no, we got to pay for shit.
No.
We can't just earmark money for these things.
Well, and see, and I guess that was the good thing when my mom did get a return, which she probably got a fucking much bigger return than she told us.
Probably.
Which is fine. She did great at being poor. And you know, things I found out through my life is my grandparents actually controlled some of her money, so she couldn't go spend because she's a thrift. Like if she has cash, she spends it, which is probably why when I have cash, it's not tracked. I just go spend it, right? But you know, that being said, like being a single mom, we did get to, like, we'd go out to eat. You know, that was like the time. Hey, it's tax time. We get to go out to eat, right? We're going to Olive Garden. Right, like,
which was like huge.
It was back then to us, man. I mean, you know, that was a fancy restaurant.
That was big time eating out.
Like, you know, I don't know. I'm not trying to brag, but like, just for the 2/3 of us, I guarantee I've had over a $200 bill, right? Like on a meal, like versus we just went to Olive Garden, literally the 3 of us, and I think I walked out. We soup, salad, breadstick, 10, $6, and so like $30, right?
Yeah.
Like where we've gone to, you know, other places and had just great meals. So the $30 is you know, back then when we were kids, man, that was the greatest place to be. So,
well, you know, one of the I love to TikTok, you know this.
Oh, I was watching it as I was walking up the stairs.
And Vanessa sent me a great TikTok.
Yeah.
And I sent it to you. This lady sat down and she literally spent 3 hours going over every dime she spent last year.
You did send that to me, which was awesome.
And the part that made me so impressed is it came from Vanessa.
Nice work.
So she found it, she sent it to me, and it's like, all right, she totally gets it.
Yeah.
Some people we sit down and talk to money wise,
yeah,
they pay us lip service and they don't really, you know, do anything that we say. But Vanessa does everything she can to better that situation. So I'm going to bring this up. We said it on an interview we had a few weeks back, and I told you about it, Vanessa. So money hasn't been paying off as quickly as you'd like because you made several trips to Texas.
Had a new grandbaby.
Had a new grandbaby.
I spent a month in Texas, and then we took a trip because hubby hasn't seen the baby. And then I took another trip because Cheyenne needed a second car. And we had gone around, we have an extra vehicle that Josh needs to make repairs on, and we, you know, moving stuff around. Well, basically, we gave her my RAV4. it was just to use, but I think at this point we're just gonna give it to her. We still owe on it. Hubby took over that bill. But I drove down to Texas, dropped my car off, spent a day there, flew back home, and this was like end of October, I think it was. So 3 trips to Texas since July. So
Right. So, I mean, so basically 1 trip every 2 months. Let's say, and yeah, you know, it's not cheap, right? To get to Texas, like, especially if you're driving, even if you're flying, like it's not a cheap destination to get to.
Well, and having coached for 20 years now and having a 27, almost 28-year-old daughter, I'm going to ask this question, Vanessa.
okay.
You regret every minute that you spent with your new grandbaby, didn't you?
Oh yeah, just
I mean, you'll make the money at some
I
point to
know.
pay it off when you
And
can.
I get to go back in August for number 2.
Well, there you go.
Oh wow!
So,
Congrats.
She wasted no
yes.
time.
Yeah, that was all right.
They'll be a year and a month apart. Hendrix
Man.
was born July 15th and baby 2 is due August 13th. So
Wow.
That's almost as quick as Mike because he's like 11 months apart with his kids.
Listen, I'm 15 between me and my brother. That's 11 months. That's not even that's crazy. I have cousins. One's born in January, one's born in December.
Wasted
Yeah.
no time. 11 months.
Literally no
But,
time. Like,
um
so the same year, which is crazy.
so hubby's justification on giving her the car was she saved us like 50 grand in college, not paying tuition because she had got a free ride through the state of Texas. So we didn't have to pay college and she lived with her dad and, all that stuff. So it is what it is. And I get a new car soon because I have to drive down in August again. So
You gave her a what year RAV for?
2020.
Oh, all right. So 40,000 for 40,000 seems good.
Didn't you buy
No.
that right before the pandemic?
Like literally we bought it, drove it off the lot on Saturday. That Tuesday, governor shut us down.
Nice.
Is when we bought it. We're not going to buy new, we're going to buy used. But yeah, so
No, that's great.
it is what it is.
So right, like so I think that's the thing. So me, right, I am very much attack debt. Like people don't understand. I mean, so I say I didn't take money from my business, and I didn't, right? Because like I pay down debt, and then like I would pre-plan in my head months ahead, and sometimes it would bite me in the butt. So I want to be clear on that. Like, hey, if I want to go buy a house, I didn't have the down payment, so then I would start saving for it and hope that I get to it soon enough. And then I've learned different ways of money. But right, like that's how I did. Like, so my debt to income was my debt to debt to income was getting better. Right, my loan to value was pretty low because I kept hunkering down. Right, I mean, I remember I had my Granville house paid off in very, very short period of time. Sure, I wouldn't have reborrowed it. I'm not afraid to admit that. But then I got to chuck back down on it. So where, Vanessa, you got yourself into debts and you kept getting credit, and you have credit cards and things like that. And then someday you were just like, hey, I need to focus on this. Right. And then now it's, from your one episode.
It wasn't, I guess, what was a tipping point for me to be like, okay, I mean, I was getting daily calls, multiple calls from collection agencies, from, the creditors, from this and that. And because I was always robbing Peter to pay Paul, basically. And I've tried to sit down and do it. And it was just like, it was so overwhelming. And you just get to that point. You're just like, you can't. You just can't. You need to. And you need to look at it, you need to budget, but you just physically can't make yourself. And that's where I was at when I contacted David.
Sure. Well, and one of the things I tell people is Vanessa was my wife's friend.
Yep.
Not that I didn't like Vanessa, but we didn't have a personal relationship.
Yep.
So when we sat down, the 3 of us sat down. I mean, we did it over Zoom because she's in South Haven and we were, still in a pandemic.
And I think hubby was working at the time, and I had Jake and all that stuff, so it didn't really work out that way. So yeah, that's why we did it that way.
And you probably felt more comfortable having gone there because
Yeah.
that's who you knew.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know when, now I didn't sit with anybody when, we were in massive amounts of debt. I figured that shit out on my own. I filed bankruptcy, whatever. But it's a lonely place. It really is. Cause I remember when I filed bankruptcy, I had to take, technically my Aunt Linda with me, and she held my fucking hand while I did it. Cause I had nobody else to come with me. Cause I needed that support.
Right.
And, it's a humbling experience. It makes you feel like shit. I mean, you feel horrible because it's not that you don't want to pay the debt.
Right.
It's
Right.
you just don't know what the hell to do anymore.
I feel like you can't pay it. I mean, Vanessa said it, like she's getting calls from 20 different people and you don't know which one of the 20 people to pay. Right.
Right. And also too, going into the debt, I mean, I've said this before that my husband and I have our finances separate. He has a completely different outlook. And I really couldn't talk to him about it. It wasn't, I mean, I probably could have. He is my rock, trust me. And we get along much better now than we ever have. But I was afraid to, because I knew he'd be mad. I knew he'd be mad.
Well,
And so I couldn't. And that was hard because that took a toll on our relationship too, because I was so withdrawn and so depressed and so, and he's like, this needs to be done. And I just physically could not do it.
like, I'm glad you say that, right? Because my wife and I, we don't see, like, what people don't understand is like, we don't see eye to eye. My wife, okay, does money make happiness? I don't fucking know. If you ask me, yes. Right? But like,
It doesn't create happiness,
Right.
but it makes everything easier.
so much, right? And so
My
like,
husband says it buys beer, therefore it buys happiness.
that's
I
a
mean,
fact.
beer
but,
is happiness.
so again, we talk about it. I don't have a job, right? And so my wife seen me working and I have a business that I do fine in. And she's like, look, you're doing this job and you're fucking stressed and I'm tired of it. And like, it puts this wrench into our relationship. And, if you talk about something, I'd be like, oh man, and she'd be like, and it would just ruin our relationship and things, right? And just stress. And my wife and I do not do finances the same. We are completely, so I'll say it out loud. When it comes to finances, I don't trust my wife because her words are, we'll be fine.
Yes.
We'll be fine because that's how you see things.
Because you're going to figure it out.
But I need to and like my anxiety says I need to do this. Like, this is how we're going to do it. And this is the steps. And she's like, okay. And she just continues to do what she was.
We have the same argument because
Yeah.
anytime I start to talk about it, Dawn's like, well, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Right. I'll figure it out.
But and so that's why we did this because I needed somebody else to kind of, hey man, is this the right thing to do? Because I'm second guessing myself, even though I've been doing this for God knows how long. And but I forced my wife. So she has multiple jobs now. And then technically, let's say two of them pay the same. Well, she's like, damn, this paycheck was great. And she goes, there's less hours than this one or whatever. And I was like, okay, why? Hold on. And I was like, oh yeah, you're not putting 15% of your 401k. You're not doing this. And I was like, yeah, that's why. And
Yeah,
I was like,
more take home.
I was like,
money goes out.
yeah, I was like, you'll thank me later. And and I always told my wife, because she fought me for so much, I can't afford 15%. And I was like, look, yes, you can. Because you're telling me that we're going to be okay. I'm telling you, I will give you back 15% if that's what it takes, right? I can only invest a certain amount into mine. I'll invest your 15 for you, but I can't legally do it. So, she did that. And, now she's years into this. I don't know how long she's been at this job for 5 years. Let's say 4 years she's been doing it. Maybe, I don't know, 6, 5, whatever. Doesn't matter. But she just gets she's used to the normal paycheck, right? She's not. Now the difference is the new paycheck. She knows what she makes and she's like, shit, you're making more money. But
and
she doesn't budget.
It's funny because Dawn told me, I've hinted around at this. I've had a really rough 2-3 weeks mentally.
Yeah.
I've just had a lot of shit going on and my mental health has been in the shitter. And I've called you a few times, just to get your opinion on things.
Yep.
And Dawn made the statement to me about a week ago. We were only calling Nick because he's a dick like you are, and he's giving you exactly what you want to hear. Right. He's a dick like I am, which means he's telling me what he honestly feels.
So you and I both know at my fault, I don't hide it from you, right?
If you think I'm wrong, you tell me I'm wrong.
100%, right? And then we fight about it, and
we do.
I tell you you're stupid, you tell me I'm stupid.
How many times have we fought about minimum wage?
Oh, a million.
And how many times are we going to fight about
a
it?
million more?
Right. So she's not wrong. You are a dick because
Right.
she married you. It's just me.
Right.
But I know you're going to give me your honest opinion.
And that's
And at the end of the day, that I want to know, okay, am I overreacting? Am I being an asshole here? Or is how I feel somewhat justified?
Right.
And it's the same thing when it comes to money.
Yep.
Okay. People are looking for, they're not necessarily looking for, yeah, I did great. Vanessa sat with me. It's not like I sat there and I said, oh my God, you did great. You have $4,000 run up in Amazon and $10,000 run up on Disney. Attaboy, way to go.
The one thing I do know about Vanessa is like I remember the Amazon, but like the Disney. I'm like
Disney.
fucking Disney. Like who the hell just spends this money? And my brain, and I forget that it's not just Disney stuff. Right?
No, it's a Disney branded
Yeah.
card.
The funny thing about that is you earn points, that
Yeah.
you can spend at the Disney store, in parks or whatever.
Disney cruise.
And we'll never go on a cruise. Howie will never go on a cruise again. He was in the Navy for 5 years. He knows how it works. He will never step foot on a cruise ship. But I'm like, I was gonna use it for Christmas, and then it kind of get it, and now I'm like, hell no. Mama's buying a new Booney and Dork
Oh, there you go.
purse. When I rack up enough points, I'm getting a free purse.
And that's, I mean, at least, we'll do. We're gonna do a credit card episode because that's something that's kind of on my mind.
Running
I
in
need to do.
Nick's brain.
Yeah. So, and when we think about it, we just do it. But, I look at it and I'm glad that you say, right. Again, I just want to tell you, like, I'm glad that you can open up and say, like, it puts a wrench in between the relationship because
It did.
a lot of marriages end in divorce because of money, and they end, and I can talk to my wife about, and trust me, I run money by my wife way too much. Where she's like, yeah,
That'll
yeah.
change.
And I'm like, stop saying yeah.
That'll change.
Right. Just if you question me on one thing, then we'll have a conversation. Be like, nope, this is why I do it. This is here. And then she'd be like, see, you got it. She just has to walk me all the way through it. Right. Dude, I was walking into my house and it was like an epiphany. Right. I'm sitting there going, am I doing all the right stuff with my money? And am I like, and I know I go out to eat way too much and I gotta stop doing that.
Mhm.
I have to stop doing that. One for my health and one for my bank account.
I haven't been out to eat in 2 months.
Proud of you. Not even in
I
Texas?
can't.
Not even in
The last
Texas?
time, huh?
Not even in Texas?
I mean, in Texas, I had surgery in November 30th, so I can't eat fast food or any of that. So because I can't eat out, they haven't eat out. So we
Yeah.
have made everything at home. We've come up with some very creative meals, by the way, that are dirt cheap.
Good for you. You say what?
We've had those episodes.
We're gonna
We
do
did have
another one. Yep. Those are my favorite episodes.
Absolutely.
Proving, especially now. But so anyway, Vanessa, instead of doing the debt snowball where you hit the lowest interest rate, you chose to go with the avalanche where you're hitting the highest
Yes.
interest rate and going that way.
Actually, I will say though, I did a little, honestly, I did a little bit of both because, I knew those credit cards had high interest rates, but I also knocked out some of the smaller collections things and some of the smaller debts that I had because that stopped the phone calls.
Yeah.
The credit cards were up to date. I was paying minimums or just above minimums, but it wasn't making a dent. But it was those constant phone calls every day, 5 times a day. And when I knocked those out, that was a win as well. And so I did a combination of both. But now that those are done, I've, gone to the avalanche.
Yeah. And I think doing your own thing is great because, because you're talking about emotions and we are an emotional or mental health people as much as we're not licensed in it, but I think you have to have a win, right? You have to give yourself the
Mhm.
small payoff because then you feel like, hey, I accomplished this, right? Like, there's so many things I've done in my life that have been easy just because I need a win,
Yep.
right? Like if I have to go build a house, what's the fastest way to eat an elephant, or how do you eat an elephant? One piece at a time or one bite at a time, right? Like I get that, but I could eat the carrot that's right here because it's gone and I don't have to, the whole
Right.
thing's gone. But so I believe that you have to give yourself some wins. And then you guys just got into a part where you just felt so low to where the only option for
The only option for us was bankruptcy. And honestly, we were so fucking broke that we had to do it ourselves. Like we did not have money for an attorney.
Right. Like,
So
which is sad to see, because what was it, like $600, $1,000,
and I just didn't have it.
who the fuck does if you're in bankruptcy?
We found a really good book and a software and did everything on our own.
Yeah.
And it cost like $200 total.
Yeah, which is, and seeing, I would be so screwed because I mean, I'd have to come to you to be like, hey, how do I do this?
I helped people file bankruptcy after I did.
Which is great. I mean,
probably 2 or 3 different people.
Yep.
Including going down to court with them.
Yeah.
Because I'd already done it, so I knew what to expect.
Yep. You know, I think it's weird. The older I got, the more people I knew that had bankruptcies in their name and things like that, you know.
Well, it's one of those things when I was young, I thought losers filed bankruptcy.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that, sometimes you just get in a bad spot.
Yeah.
And you just need a little bit of help.
Mm.
And unfortunately, a lot of people out there don't want to fucking help. Like the thing I hated the most, and we still raise money for this organization at work. Hey, if you're down on your luck, call the United Way. They'll help you.
Yeah.
No, they fucking won't. They don't give a rat's fucking ass about a normal person that needs a little help.
Right. No.
They want the person that's beyond destitute, with the needle in their arm,
Right.
Where they have nothing left. They've been in the street for 3 weeks and everything is done.
Well, that's what I find about all these companies. I think we talked about it in an episode. Like, we talked about Community of Compass or sorry, there's just so many of these companies where like, hey, we can't help you until after you have your eviction.
Right.
What the fuck? Like, so you want me to ruin my life before you'll help me?
Exactly.
Like, look, if you just give me this, it might happen again, but why don't you take that 800 that you're going to help me with at the end of it and make it 4 payments of 200 eventually throughout my 1 year period, right? Like, because that 200 will literally get you to that spot of like, hey, we made our mortgage payment today, or our rent today, stuff like that, and that kept me in here. Like,
well, one of the things I talked to Vanessa about when she came to me, and the same with my friend that came to me recently.
Yeah.
The question is, what do you need? I need everything.
Oh.
I need everything you owe. I need everything you spend. I need every dime you have.
Yeah.
What you're expecting to come in. I need everything because I need a full outlook on what there is so I can give you the best plan on how to attack this.
Yep.
And most of the time I'm going to go with the snowball because again, people need wins.
You do.
And if they're the type of person that's motivated by a win every 3 months, they can get that with a snowball.
Well, and I mean, if you're talking an adult, you probably have a normal type of a job, like, and so you can get a win fairly quickly because I mean, you've probably gotten the credit cards where they're only giving you a 500 because your debt to income's like, hey, we can only give you $500, but you'll take it.
Yeah.
Because it's there. Like, and we talked about that. Like, to me, you guys broke people use cash advance stores. And
Yes.
you guys did those.
Oh, those are horrible. Even I knew better than to use those.
We did not use
I
those.
thought Dawn, or did she work for one?
Dawn used that like
There you go.
twice after working for it.
Sure.
And when I found out,
Yeah.
all hell broke loose.
Well, and
Because again, I'm not paying 600% interest. The worst loan after bankruptcy. So this is well after bankruptcy. This was like 4 years after bankruptcy.
okay.
She was handling our accounts because I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Okay. I love my wife, but
You're an idiot.
I couldn't let her be in charge of our finances because if she got in trouble, she was not going to ever come to me.
Right.
Because I would get mad.
She'd be, yeah.
I would get mad.
That's my wife too, right? Like, wait, where the hell did this come from? Here we
Right.
go, right.
So she literally got a loan with a company called Cash Call.
Oh, geez.
It was a $2,500 loan. You want to know what the terms were? She had to pay $5,400 in 24 months.
Holy shit balls. Dude, I need to open. You know, what's the weird thing is I live in Jenison, which is a very, what I would call, and it is like, let's just call it, it is a very well-off area.
Very much.
And there was a cash store. Granted, it's out now, which I'm very happy about, but like, I understood the one in Wyoming, but I didn't understand the one in Jenison. But it doesn't matter what your financial thing, like, there's always that thing, right?
Well, this company,
And I want to be clear about this real
Yeah.
quick. So people listening, you could be in debt because of gambling and things like that. I know people that have been in it, but like, doesn't sound like any of us were into gambling debt, right? We were just in normal, everyday were trying to bust our ass and get their debt.
Yeah, it wasn't like we were buying extravagant things.
Yeah, you didn't go out and buy a $3,000 brand new refrigerator because it had the LED TV on it.
Right.
Yeah.
We were just buying normal shit. Vanessa, were you just, you bought a Rolex, right?
Yeah. No, but I did spend unnecessarily. I mean,
Well,
I was
think
in that
we all
mental
do.
state, but yeah.
But you were, I mean, it's not like you had a Louis Vuitton in your arm that you financed. It's not like you had a BMW, 7 Series and living literally just above the means. You
weren't taking vacations, to South Beach, staying on the beach.
Right. You were, hey, yeah, my kid wants these toys and I'm going to buy them. And, a couple $100 here, a couple $100 there, this, that.
Yeah. Hubby called me out on this, and I don't know if it's like an ADHD thing or if it's just me personally, but when I would get depressed, I would go shopping.
Yeah.
And I would always be like, oh, but I only buy it if it's on sale or clearance, or I buy it at Goodwill, or I buy it whatever. Well, that shit adds up.
Yeah.
And he totally called me out on it. And so now I am very conscious about that. I mean, sometimes I still do it. Like, I went to the grocery store and I bought something that wasn't on the list because I wanted it, and it wasn't a necessity, and it wasn't. And he's like, why did you buy? I'm like, well, it was only $5.
Yeah. Well,
it adds up.
No, but it does, because it's funny. So my wife does the same shit, and it's fine because I buy whatever the fuck I want. Which I shouldn't say that, but I do for the most part. But like, she'll come home, she'll be like, man, I just bought your daughter a new shirt and I just got a nice sweater, and they were 90% off the clearance rack. And I was like, cool, but you still spent $12. Like, my daughter is 7. I've never seen her with the same fucking shirt on once. Like, I don't like it, but it's weird because I don't mind. But
you and I wear like 4 shirts.
Right. And that's it. But and so that's what we go back to this girl on TikTok. We should figure out how to link this aspect, but
I can link that in the show notes.
Yeah, so she was talking about, she has like a miscellaneous thing. She only has $285 of home alcohol. So
yeah, but
I hit that by January.
But going out and drinking,
it was a little bit more. It wasn't much though.
It was like 1,000.
Yeah, for the year.
Okay, I know.
For a fucking year.
Yeah, but you and I are
My
alcoholics.
weekly bowling last week I paid for the whole team.
Okay, but again, you and I are alcoholics.
Food and drink. No, this is food and drinks, and it's only $889.
Okay, but I want to go back to something Vanessa said for a minute here, because Dawn says to me the other day, she goes, when you're fucking depressed, you buy more shit. And I'm like, yeah. She goes, you're trying to make yourself not depressed? Yeah. You've been with me 23 fucking years. You're just now figuring this out.
But the problem is when you have buyer's remorse.
No,
I never have that. I don't know.
Really?
Because
that's what I did.
Really? No, it's great to have. So I'm
glad you have that. I wish I did. I'm just happy.
Because I knew I'm in debt, and I knew if I, at the time you're like, you justified it in your head, but then, you look at your bank account and be like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Well, you can't return it.
Right.
So I did. But I do it again.
When the day comes that you're not sitting there looking at the debt anymore, because you guys don't have debt, you're gonna sit there and go, yeah, I don't for a minute regret buying that $5 thing, even though I know I probably shouldn't have. Well, you're just gonna be happy you bought it, and he's gonna be pissed off because you were just trying to make yourself feel better. Right? It made me feel better.
That's what counts. And I'm going on vacation, right? And I have no fucking job. Right? I keep saying it, but like, I don't have this guaranteed. But my flights were $100, so that's $300 there. $400 for my hotel for 6 nights, 7 days, and $124 car rental, right? For the 3 of us. I'm doing it because, yes, am I depressed? Like, is that what you want to hear? Sure, I'm fucking depressed. Am I doing it because I want to see my wife and kid happy? 100%. Do I regret a single thing about it? Fuck no, because I know I'm going to come back energized. Let's go. I need to focus on this. I'm trying to buy the next place. Like, this is, and it's a lot, dude, $800. It was weird. I didn't realize, like, I went through different financial steps in my life, right? But like, there's people that couldn't spend $800 right now if they had to, right? If I offered them this exact trip, they're like, damn, how do you find this? And I'm like, well, this, and well, we don't have $800. And I'm like, what? Like, dude.
Well, again, they ask that question all the time. If you ran into a $500 emergency, could you find it?
Yeah, most people.
I could always find it.
Right. I mean, right.
But a lot of people cannot find that $500.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
well, that's like Cheyenne works for this company where they do sales, and they have tiers. They have 3 tiers. If they make each tier has so much money towards a vacation. And they met tier 3, which means that this company pays $7,000 for a vacation. And so they get to pick anywhere they want to go. It doesn't matter where it is.
You're a baby.
And they were going to go to Hawaii. And what they were going to do is they were going to rent an Airbnb, which it was paid for. And all we had to do was buy plane tickets.
Yeah.
And we would have had a free,
Room.
somewhat free vacation. And I was talking to Hobby about it, and he's like, and I knew the answer. I didn't want to hear the answer, but he's like, no, because we have, yeah, it'd be great. It's great in theory. We get to spend a week with Cheyenne and, have fun and do all that, but we have to bring Jake. So that's an extra,
Plane ticket.
And we have this and this that we need to do. And like, at this point, those things are not an option to ignore. Like, we have to get our septic pump. We have to put in a new front door. We have no choices. And so he's like, no. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But now they're not going to Hawaii because she's pregnant and can't do all those beachy, whatever. So they're going to New York. They're going to have a good time in New York. But the point is, yes, it'd have been great, but we couldn't justify it.
Well, I wanted to go the week before Christmas to Florida. And I'm not going to lie. My wife said no, and we just couldn't do things. And I was like, I just felt it was financially, but it really wasn't. It was just the timing. And then so that's why we're going now. And I'm just like, I'm excited for it. Like, because last year I had so much fun. I mean, what an amazing opportunity. But at least your husband is smart enough to say no. Like, we have these things that we have to get done, and that's more of a priority. He doesn't want to go into debt. Now when you started out, so your husband had no idea that you were in the debt you were into, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Well, he knew about the student loans. He didn't know exactly how much, but he knew I had student loans.
Yeah, which is fine. I mean, but he didn't know the credit cards and the other things like that. So, which he would have found out when you go to buy a car. Say, right?
We bought the car. We bought a car
before
with
he
the
even,
wrap.
yeah, but that was after you started the debt thing, right?
No, she bought the car before.
No,
her and I
actually, we
talked.
did start in 2019 because we had already started with that stuff, but I wasn't that far into it.
Yeah, you were in a couple
But
months.
my name is not on the wrap.
Right. And that's why I think you pull your credit, right? That's a tip I'll give people, is pull your credit so that way you know what's on there. So that way you're aware of what you have. Because sometimes
I got a call the other day.
Yeah.
From my father, who,
yeah, he's a great guy.
It's a complicated relationship. I'll put it that way.
We should meet so he can think you're skinny.
And I think he'd still call me a fat piece of shit, but that's okay. Anyways, he goes, I didn't know your wife went by Michelle. She doesn't. It's her middle name. Why? Well, because somebody called my Michelle because his daughter's named Michelle. And they had like $5 million debt. So is that your wife?
Yes.
No. It's a scammer trying to get $5 million from her. Oh, are you sure it's not your wife? Yeah, I'm pretty fucking sure, because I pull my wife's credit report yearly.
Yeah.
And I would see it.
This isn't made up, which whenever you say that's always made up. I think that's why I bought my third house, because I didn't pull my credit that year. So I was like, well, I gotta have an excuse and I don't want it to damage it. So I don't want to buy furniture or something. So I went and bought a house just so I can have my credit pulled. That was like, I didn't know how else to pull credit, right? Because like I look at the websites to scam things, right? Like, if it's on a commercial, I always assume it's a scam. I really do. I always have.
I think you and Steve are the same fucking age. Swear to God. I do want to hit on this because I mean, part of the thing we're talking about is how you feel. So Vanessa, think back to when you were at your lowest point. I mean, give me some emotions that were there.
It was physically debilitating. My husband would go to work and I'd lay in bed all day watching TV on my phone. I had physical aches and pains. Like it weighed so heavy that I was just physically painful. I was miserable. That's all I can say. I mean, there's no other way to describe it.
I remember being nauseous. The phone would ring and I
nauseous.
immediately got nauseous. And I used to love when the phone rang because I'm like, oh, somebody's calling me.
It's like getting a piece of mail.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, every time it rang, I just had this terror response of, oh my God, again, somebody wants to hammer me about the fact that I owe fucking money.
Right.
And I mean, I said some of the craziest shit. I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. I got a truck. Come take it. Kiss my ass. I literally, I didn't want to deal with them.
Yep. Well, you know, and I have family, right? They've had cars repossessed. They've had things. And I try to sit and have those conversations of like, hey, this is what you should do. This is how you should do it. And people listen or they don't, right? I'm getting better, especially having, you know, doing Bucks and Brews. Like I'm getting better at being able to explain to people more process and steps, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my brother came over the other day and I actually got a call from one of my people I have money invested with for IRAs and stuff like that. And he happened to be there. So I put it on, I had it on speaker anyway. And he's like, hey, I wouldn't do this. Like, wait a couple months to put money in. And I was like, oh, all right, cool. Like, and I was like, look, and we had an adult conversation, which my brother and I don't like, we don't all the time. Right. Like, but I was like, look, if you wanted to ask my opinion, should you be investing in your 401k? Always do the company match, but I wouldn't blame you if you didn't do the extras because personally, this is how I feel. But I also know that you're the kind of person that will not take that money and do something like you're not going to pay your car off the extra $100 that you're going to save.
You're not going to open up a different account.
Right. You're not going to do these things. And I said, so look, here's my thing. If you're going to do the right things, then that's fine. But if you're just going to if you're just going to go buy an extra pizza or do whatever, which I know you are car parts that you don't need, don't do it because it's not going to make you any happier, any faster, anyway. You'll thank me later for this in the end. And I wanted to touch base on that. Like the reason we need wins, because like getting rich is not overnight. It's not over a 5-year period, a 10-year period. I mean, this it's over our life and eventually it'll hit. I can't tell you where that part hits because everybody feels something completely different. Right. I have more money now than I've ever had in my life, but I think I said it a couple of years ago. Like I have more money now than I've ever had in my life. And I've never felt so fucking broke.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I look back on like when Caitlin was in high school.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm working overtime and I'm getting
Shit,
paid
that's-
hourly and I got all this extra cash and I felt so fucking poor.
Yeah. But you guys were doing everything.
We were doing a lot of stuff, but
Yeah.
still, I paid for Hawaii with overtime. I didn't have to take out any money to do that. It was just there.
Yep.
And I didn't realize at the time that, I mean, it was good for me feeling like I was poor because it kept me grinding.
Yep.
But I was nowhere near. I mean, I'm not poor now either.
Right.
But I still feel poor.
Oh yeah.
And if I had $5 million in the bank, I would feel poor.
Right. And that's just exactly it. Right. And I had that little conversation with somebody yesterday. So I'm the kind of person where if I have $1 million in the bank, let's just say I have $1 million in cash and I watch that bank account because I have to go pay a $63 ticket or let's just call it $100 and it goes to 999,900 or 999,999,000 and $800 or 900, like I would just feel like boom, like because I don't have that same amount of money. Right?
Right.
If it doesn't go up to me, it's bad. That's why I tell people not to look at their 401s and do all that.
I look at my investments. So like my HSA.
Yep.
I don't have an HSA or I don't have a high deductible health plan anymore.
Yep.
So I cannot contribute to my HSA any longer.
Right.
Which is fine. But I had invested 2,000 and it got up to 2,300.
Which is huge.
And then it got down to 16.
Yep.
And right now it's sitting at like 1910.
Sure close.
And I just needed to get over 2,000 so that I can now cash it out and I have what I put into it and I'll be a happy guy.
Right. It'll get there. I mean,
it will. And
you're going to compound your interest.
I'm letting the shit ride. So, like I always do.
Yeah.
I mean, I looked at my 403B yesterday because it was a holiday for us.
Yeah.
So I got on and I looked and I'm like, all right, well, I don't really like these investments anymore. I think I'm going to go this way instead.
Yeah.
So I rebalanced everything I change my future elections, and then I shoot a message on Teams to Lubbers, Glusa, Christy, and Kristen, who I advise them on what to put their money in.
Sure.
Christy was on because she was working yesterday, because she usually works on Sundays.
Sure.
And she asked me a bunch of questions. This morning, I get up and I get online at 5:30, and by 6:30, Kristen messages me and she goes, I don't have any of the elections you said. I don't think I changed this last time. All right, well, you got them now. Change them.
Right.
And then like 2 hours later, I get a message from Lubbers with a heart, and I get a message from Glusa with a heart.
Nice.
And it's like, great. So they've done what I've told them to do. And, you know, when I'm looking at these accounts, I'm looking at not what have they done in the last year, but what have they done in the last 6 months, and what have they done in the last 5 years?
Right.
Because are they trending correctly now?
Yep.
Because I know in the last year they've sucked.
Everybody has.
But in the last 6 months, how are they looking?
Right.
And then over 5 years, how did they look? And that's where we're putting our money.
So before coming here, I went and visited my wife's grandma, and she's in a assisted living aspect of things right now, like a hospital nursing, whatever. I don't know what the middle ground is, right?
Residential living.
There you go. Yeah. And so she was saying, oh yeah, hey, I get 20 days of free stuff. And then after the, for the next 40 days after that, it's going to cost us $190 a day for food. I was like, well, you can always make more money. And then my daughter, 7 years old, looks at me and goes, how's she going to make more money? She's sitting here. And I said, well, and she goes, well, and I was like, all right, you asked for the conversation. I was like, it's called compound interest, kid, right? Your money's going to go in. It's going to sit there. She's going to make money upon the money. Remember that bank account that you just opened up, the CD, of which I'm really happy. And she just sits here and she goes, I was like, so you want to have an adult conversation? Or you want to play like a child right now? I was like, if you're going to ask me a financial thing at 7 years old, you better be ready for this full answer. And she's just like, man. I was like, kid, you're pushing my buttons, but I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna educate you. You're going to be the brightest kid that's going to walk in. You're going to be like, hey, compound interest. You guys ever heard of this? Like, she's going to be the biggest nerd, and I'm hoping for it, right? But like,
Right.
you know, I remember I talked a lot about it last vacation. She's like, I was like, hey, you know how we did this? Like, we invested our money and it made money. Like, we spent no money out of this because we overmade this year. And she's like, huh? And I was like, you'll get it someday. And it's like, I keep putting that in, but like, it was the funniest thing. I'm sitting here talking to her like an actual adult, and she's going, and I was like, oh, yep.
I still do that to my husband. What are you talking about?
Right. I can see that. Like, you look childish. No. But you know, I say, and
He gets so
me-
mad at me.
oh, I bet, but it doesn't matter. So I've learned, no matter how old you are, if you ask the question, I'm gonna give you the answer.
Well, you know, and when we look at debt and crippling debt, especially, what is the first thing you need to do to figure it out?
Yeah.
You need to find somebody and ask them for help.
I think that's the biggest thing. You need to not just admit it to yourself, but you need to find somebody, because it can be isolating as well. You feel isolated. And it's you don't always have somebody in your immediate family to talk to. You don't always have, but you need to find somebody, whether it's somebody like David or whatever, that can be your accountability, your sounding board, your encouragement, and to help you tackle it one bite at a time.
Yep.
Instead of trying to figure it out on your own.
I'm going to throw out some words here, Vanessa, and tell me if they're right or wrong. You know, when you decide that this is where you're at, humbled.
Yeah.
Maybe lost.
I was very lost.
Fearful.
Yes.
And honestly, just looking for somebody to give a shit.
Yeah.
And, you know, people that know me, like, I hate everyone.
Yeah.
As a group.
Yep.
But I like individual people. Like, if you throw 10 people in front of me, guaranteed I hate every fucking one of them. But if you put one person in front of me, probably gonna like that one person. As long as they don't come out stupid, you know. If they run around going, I hate gay people, I'm gonna hate that motherfucker. But if they're just sitting there going, God, I just don't know what to do.
Yep.
I just need a little hand. I'm gonna give you a hand.
Yeah.
because I've been there and I know what it looks like and I want to help.
Well, and
it doesn't even have to be somebody that's into finance or into
Yeah.
that sort of thing. I think it's really just somebody that can help you get out of your own head.
Mhm.
I think that has a lot to do with it too. Just that sounding board, somebody to help not distract you, but kind of pull you out and kind of get your mind right.
Yep.
You know,
Well, and for anybody, watching
make
us
you
or,
vulnerable
or
right?
listening to us, I did start a Discord channel with a debt support help. So, if you go find Bucks and Brews Discord, you'll find a debt support help on there. And I figure it, it's good to throw out there because people need that support.
And yeah, so and that's what one thing I think you and I have, excuse me, we have a very much understanding, right? Because we're not losing weight, right? We have an understanding that if you could do it by yourself and if this was easy, everybody would just go do it.
Mhm.
But it takes other people that have a different passion, have a different mindset, have a different outlook than you do, right? I mean, if Vanessa came to me, it'd be a different conversation than what you and I had, right? Hey, where do you want to be? Like, where do you want to be? How do you want to get there? Like, I walk people through journeys where you're strictly, this is the data, this is how we're doing it. And I'm like, I want you to dream.
I needed data. That's the thing.
Right.
Like if I would have gone to you first, not to say anything, but I think my
No.
journey would have been way different. I come from that military background and I'm the nerd. I'm the numbers person.
Yep.
I needed facts. I needed a plan. I needed focus. And so I think with David kind of putting that out there and be like, okay, I can go to him. That really helped me.
Yeah. And you have to find that, right? Because
Everybody's different.
In normal life, I'm way more straightforward than you, right? But like when it comes to this aspect of things, I think you're very much numbers, straightforward. Like, look at this, and I will walk. We are completely opposite.
Very black and white when it comes to this,
right? And we are kind of opposite because right? Like, I still want people to live kind of a life, right? Because I've lived this whole, like, everybody talks about the Dave Ramsey, and you can't even go drink a fucking pop,
right?
And I'm like, look, you know what? Like, I remember when it used to help me. So like we were talking about, I think I'm 2-3 years without a Monster, and I have an addiction. So like, I didn't realize I could even go that long without doing that. But like, I'm still like, I still think about it. I'm talking about it right now, and it's just the idea of it. So you very much focus on this, and I focus on, hey, we don't have to give up the world. We can do these things.
As much as I hate Ramsey,
yeah,
when it comes to debt,
gazelle intensity,
I am absolutely hyper focused on getting rid of that debt.
Yep.
But I don't think David was he wasn't, you need to get rid of all this and you can't do this and you can't do that, because he even said when we first talked, I know that you need to go out and eat out sometimes and do this and do that. So he was just more of like black and white. Here is what we're looking at. What can you do? Where can you cut back? Where do you feel doing that sort of thing? So I think that was helpful as well.
Oh, and that's great.
That's the thing. You can't the whole Dave Ramsey, you can't go out to eat and you can't do this and you can't. That can be so crippling for people. That was me, because, and so that would not work for me.
And my assumption is, because I look at the lowest, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as much as people don't think, like, I've been very low. But like, right, when you finally reach out for help, if you do, because like, we know that suicide happens, okay?
It does.
Which means you didn't reach out for help. You got to the lowest point and didn't. Okay. So now other people, they'll get to that lowest point and then they'll reach out for help. So in most people's eyes, I would assume people aren't just, hey, I'm going to keep living this life and then I'll ask for help. No, you've probably already felt like you've cut back on the things that you can cut back, and you feel like you're living a life that's not the life you want or used to. And so then you're like, okay, hey, I need to reach out for help. Like, don't tell me to cut out more because I feel like I've already fucking cut out. Hey, let's lay it all out there. Let's literally throw stats out on a piece of paper. And I think
suicide's a great comp there, because anybody you talk to, 80% of the people you talk to
Yeah.
are going to tell you anybody that commits suicide, they're the weakest people ever. Bullshit. It takes a strong person to say, you know what, I'm just done with this. I can't do this shit anymore. You did not like whatever that was.
No. Sorry.
Which one?
English style mild.
You were so excited about that one.
I do normally, and you know what?
Not so good, huh?
Well, I probably should have chilled it.
Well, I mean, you should chill there's a refrigerator right in there.
I don't want to take up all the refrigerator space.
All you have to figure out is what
Well.
there's 2 shelves you could put shit on.
Yeah.
Anyways, people think that anybody that commits suicide is weak. That takes a strong person to say, I'm just done with this shit. I don't want to do this shit anymore. And it's not that they're coming from a place of weakness. They're just coming from a place of desperation going, I just, there's no way out of this and I can't do it anymore. I'm so fucking tired. I want to be done.
That's all right. So I'm going to piggyback a little bit.
Yeah.
My wife and I are watching a show called Afterlife.
Okay.
It's with British guy. Sorry.
Ricky Gervais.
Thank you.
Mind you, I have no idea what this show
Yes.
is, but all you had to say was British guy.
So Ricky Gervais and his wife died from cancer or whatever. So he's like, he's just like, I don't give a fuck, I'm here and blah, blah. And somebody's like, well, you're pretty strong. Or they're like, no, you're weak because if you were strong, you would have killed yourself. Right. And I was like, damn, that hit. And like watching it, like just sitting there on the other side, like watching kind of this. And I guess you have to see the show for me to understand it. But like, I looked over at my wife and I was like, I have no idea where I'd be without you. And then she's like, I know I'd be lost without you. And just like, just watching it, like watching these people, like these people's lives, like completely change. I'm just like, fuck, man.
Do you ever feel like you're saying that from a way different spot than what she is?
Oh, 100%.
Because, I've said this many times since I got sick.
Yeah.
If I knew this was the best it was going to be, I just wish I would have dropped dead.
Yeah.
And, I'm better than I used to be, but still not where I need to be.
Or want to be.
And I mean, it's gotten to the point where I told Dawn the other day, I'm like, because I've had all the concussions I've had in life, I know I'm prone to fits of rage. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to necessarily know when those happen.
Yep.
So she got to the point where she's like, well, maybe we need to get a referral to a traumatic brain injury therapist. Yeah, that's fine. We can do that. It's not a big deal either way. But at the end of the day, I'm just sitting there going, okay, this is the best my brain is going to be. Do I want to keep doing this shit?
Right.
Because it sucks. I want to be what I was 2 years ago, not what I am right now.
Yeah.
I'm not where I want to be.
And noticing that, right, it's going to get you on the steps to getting there, right?
I hope so.
And as she said, she gave you suggestions of what things you might look into. Now it takes you to take those steps to go do it, right?
Well, I mean, I talked to an old friend yesterday. I mean, so when I first moved to Illinois,
Mhm.
I wasn't real good at getting out there and talking to people. So I talked to people online. And one of the girls I talked to, Angela, she lives in California and we've been friends since 97 or so. And gave her a call yesterday. I talked to her for about an hour and a half, and she's run through some of the same issues I have because she was septic last year.
Yeah.
And 2 years ago. And we're talking about things, and there's that period where she relates to what I'm saying because she's now gone through that.
Right.
So when I say, my brain is just not working the way it should, she gets it where other people just don't. And it's nice to have that reassurance that, somebody else out there knows exactly what the hell I'm going through.
Mhm.
And again, it's not that I want to drop dead, but, she was asking me about when I got sick, and I'm like, yeah, we did a couple episodes. Like, I remember doing an episode with you, and I'm like, hey, if I drop dead from this, I need you to do X, Y, and Z because they're not going to know what the fuck to do.
Right.
And then a couple weeks later, you were on vacation, and Vanessa and I had a conversation, where we did a kind of Bucks and Brews without you. And I vaguely remember it, but not really.
Right.
And I actually listened back to the one that she was on after that, where she goes, yeah, I'm excited to get your reaction, Nick. Because when I talked to David, he was just kind of out of it.
Yeah. No, and that's But, excuse me, you have the ability to know those types of people, right? Like, we've done 150 episodes now, something like that.
Like 125, but yeah.
Sure, we're getting, but like, but we just found out that we're above average because
Yeah.
average is what, 7 and they quit,
Something like that, yeah.
right? So, I mean, we understand.
So
Listen,
the first time we are above average.
let's give credit where it's due. Listen, Money Matters. We're above average in weight too.
We are that, yeah.
Say, Listen, Money Matters is coming back apparently.
Are they really?
With a new co-host?
Yeah.
So
I loved listening to them. They were great.
great.
We stole the "What are you drinking" from them.
Damn straight. I say we're not afraid to admit.
Not afraid at all.
And I made fun of them every time they said I'm drinking tea. Right?
Yeah.
That's why. Like, you're like, hey, I'm doing this, and I'm like, cool, that's good, but like, I will continue to drink.
I have
beer.
my water.
Right.
My blue water.
I will continue to drink beer because that's what we started. And that was one of the biggest things. Like, all of a sudden they're like, hey, I want to get healthy and I want to do this. And I was like, everybody goes through change, and I don't want to be that change.
We want to be that change, but we want to keep doing what the fuck we're doing.
Right. Well, I want to get back to this girl that we
Yeah.
talked about on TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you read this to me?
I can. Rent, water, and sewage. $7,525.39
Remember all the people that said you can't find anything for less than like $1,000?
per year. Yeah.
Like, that's a year.
Yeah. So we're talking $700.
Right.
Roughly?
It's like
650?
Yeah. So she's right.
She did. She did say that she chose to live where she does because of the lower not standard of living, but rents and stuff like that. So she did find a lower.
No, and that's fine. Like, I mean, she, but it's just super cheap. I don't know where she lives, but, and then, the thing that got me was the screen before this. She was paying $1,480 for subscriptions, $1,480 a year,
Which is over $100 a month.
Yeah, like
$108 a month or so.
Yep. And it was, well, it's funny because I made fun of my brother for the same shit. So he's like, I don't spend that much, and I was like, Hulu, Netflix, you just got
Disney Plus.
Well, yeah, he's like, he's like Paramount. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I pay $1 a month for that, and I was like, still $1.
It's still a
The
dollar.
other one you're paying $11, and he's like, yeah, and I was like, dude, I was like, I could literally sit here right now and probably get you $60, and I was like, but I'm not telling you to stop living that life because you use it when you're on the road. You're constantly doing these things.
So Osborne came in to teach me, the numbering thing. And one of the things he hit me with was he wants his son to save enough money to get a house. And Nick will not be here to hear this, but it's going to drive home to him. So he's like, save $70,000 because the kid makes really good money for a 23-year-old. He's making $29 an hour.
Mm.
So really good money for a 23-year-old. I mean, shit, that's almost what I make. And I'm 45. Anyways. So he's like, yeah, you could save $70,000 in a year and have a great down payment. True, you'd have to buy a house in Wyoming. And he goes, yeah, I don't want a house in Wyoming. I want to live here, which here is Byron Center. I'm like, well, you need $325,000 for that. And again, $70,000 is a nice down payment, but you're not finding cheap housing here or even affordable housing here.
That's like South Haven. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, it's crazy.
Mhm.
I mean, Nick thinks that he's gonna, and I've looked just for shits and giggles here and there, but there is nothing less than 150,000
Mhm.
or 159, I think. And that is a vacation condo that's on the lake, and it's only available 6 months of the year
Yeah.
or something like that. It's not feasible. And I think South Haven, somebody was talking about affordable housing. They're going to work on affordable housing here in South Haven for long time rent people here. So, and not just summer rentals, because that's huge here. It's either multi-million-dollar homes or rentals.
Right. Say affordable housing. We said we will have that episode up because we're dealing with it in every area. We had a guy on, and that's what he did for the longest time, was talk about affordable housing. So, and what's needed. So, has your taxes gone up?
Where I don't know. I don't deal with that.
Sure.
That's his. I mean, I look at it. I think it's gone up a little bit.
Sure.
But we are not actually in South Haven. So we're actually in Allegan County.
Oh, okay.
And so we're like a half a mile from where the county line is, from Van Buren to Allegan.
Sure.
And so we're not exactly, so like if we were to call 911, South Haven Police Department would not respond to our house.
Sure.
The first responders would either be Allegan County Sheriff or state troopers, because we're not in South Haven. So our house, and he bought it before we were together, before I even knew him, knowing that it needed repairs. So
Sure.
he got a good price on it. He got a good deal on it. But
no. And so I guess because we have the question of, right, like, I don't know where to start. Besides finding somebody. Now, what does it take? So after you sat with David, what does it take to make it happen?
the first thing that I had to do was find out where my money was going. I had to do what that lady did, basically, was to sit down and go through my account and categorize it and say, okay, here's what I spent this month on this. And as I had said before, I didn't realize how much money we were spending eating out. I mean, we were spending a couple $100. And again, our finances are separate. So that was just my account
Sure.
that was eating out that much, not what he paid for, because he was paying, we would split it, one time he'd buy, one time I'd buy. So it was double basically what my bank account was showing. And so I had to make those changes first.
So you noticed what was missing and then decided, hey, this is where I can actually cut.
Mm-hmm.
Because originally you didn't think you can cut anything. Now you realize, hey,
Correct.
I actually could cut something.
Yes. The other was the groceries. We would just buy what we wanted when we wanted it. I mean, I was going to Meijer at least once a day. It felt like I was, I wouldn't make a list. I wouldn't figure out what we were running out of, or, I wouldn't meal plan. I still don't kind of meal plan, but that's a little bit different. But I would spend so much money at Meijer because I would not go in and just get what I needed. I'd be like, oh, this sounds good, or, oh, I could make this with that, or, oh, so I was spending like $1,300 a month or more on groceries for the three of us.
Yeah, that's what I have a very good friend of mine who we don't talk like the way David and I do. As much as people think, like, I love to talk money and business and stuff, but like, he's the average American, right? He's like, hey, I just got a promotion, 10% raise, I'm making great money, I'm doing this. And then, man, we just went to Meijer and I spent $450 for groceries for the week. And I was like, $450 fucking dollars. Like, what? And he's like, yep. And I'm just like, but they're the people that have 10 5-hour energy drinks sitting right there. They have just so much stuff. I'm like, huh, all right. So you didn't get to the point of figuring out how to write down, hey, this is what we can eat every day. This is a guaranteed game plan of what we're doing. So I don't know. I make a list, my wife doesn't, but she also makes sure we actually have meals in the house versus
here we eat a little bit different. I've tried to meal plan. My ADHD does not allow me to continuously meal plan. Like, I cannot function like that, much to my husband's dismay. But we will make several different meals a week, and we have leftovers quite often. So like my husband will make spaghetti, and this was before surgery even. I was so spaghettied out. I'm like, I am done eating spaghetti. But you know, he would make spaghetti, him and Jake would eat it. He'd take it to lunch. Jake would eat it for leftovers. I would find something else, or I would make a meal that Jake and I would eat, and he would figure out what he was going to eat. And yes, we do make meals, but now that he's working third, I mean, he's been working third for a while. We just have not functioned like that, especially after my surgery when I couldn't eat anything, you know. And he was really trying to figure out meal plans and stuff. And then I had to kind of figure out where my meals fit in. So, and we're still kind of like that. Like last night I made dinner. I made a dinner, but he was sleeping. He stayed, we went out squirrel hunting yesterday because I didn't have to work. Jake didn't have school. So we went out squirrel hunting. We had a good time as a family. But he didn't get to bed till almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and he has to be up by 8 to go to work. So yeah, I made a meal that I didn't eat because it was bratwurst, and I can't really eat those. I mean, I probably could, but it probably hurt like hell.
I do like bratwurst.
I do not.
But you know, I made his lunch and I made that up, but that's how we've been functioning lately. And I think that works for us, but we always have certain staples on hand and the things that we like. And so that's how I've been grocery shopping. Well, we're almost out of this. You know, I know you eat this and this. We have, I got 2 deer this year. My father-in-law got 2 deer this year. So we have literally a chest freezer full of meat. So we've kind of we can just pull out as needed and what we feel like. And as long as we have staples, we can throw meals together, and that's what works for us.
Sure. Well, I mean, when the pandemic kind of hit, I went back into survival mode, and I'm, you know, my wife made fun of me. She's like, why do we have so many boxes of pasta? Because we're going to eat, right? Like,
It's
well,
cheap.
we don't need it. Like, we don't need it. No, we do, right? Because in worst case scenario, when things get better, we'll just pull off our shelves versus trying to fight people in the store for $1 pasta box, and pasta never goes bad. Like, you know, but so I'm sitting here going, okay, hey, tonight we're having spaghetti. Tonight we're having goulash. I went back to poor white.
Right.
And like, tonight we're having anything with pasta and some type of a sauce. Like, we have Alfredo
Yeah.
tonight. That cost $3. Everything. I mean, I went into literal survival mode of I'm gonna eat like crap, but I'm gonna have money to make sure I can get it.
I think go
For
ahead,
us,
Vanessa.
when the pandemic hit, hubby wasn't working. His shop shut down. He wasn't,
Sure.
you know. So he did a lot of that meal planning, and so he was better at meal planning than I am.
Yep.
But and that's how we're different too. He does not get my ADHD functionality and how that works, and he gets very upset by that. And I'm like, I try so hard. But for us, when I would meal plan, you know, I'd say, okay, this night we're having this night we're having this, and you know, whatever. And then something would come up, and then we'd never make it, and then
Yep.
food would go bad, and then he'd get mad. Well, I'm sorry, that's not what I planned for, but shit happens.
Yeah.
You know, so we've kind of gone back to the make as needed with staples in the house.
Sure. And that's a great way to do it. Like, that's a good tip for people because, you know, tonight, let's just say if tonight's Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, granted,
I tacos.
I didn't, but I have to eat yet. But like, my wife will take the kid out because we had to go to her grandparents.
Yeah.
It's her birthday. Hey, we have so much this. Like, now the kid has to bed, and I'm doing this, and so I'll have to go get tacos because now I want them. But right, like we find ourselves doing that, and I'm notorious for it, especially more and more lately. Like, hey, I'm running last minute. I have to stop and grab a bite. Like, and so, you know, McDonald's is just so quick, cheap, and easy, right? Like, versus, hey, put on a pot of noodles. Let's take 8 minutes to boil, 6 minutes to cook, and, you know, add some sauce to it. But, you know,
So the thing we started running into, which I know everything we're talking about the last 15 minutes is off topic, but that's okay.
how to budget or
So Caitlin moved out right before the pandemic,
yeah,
And my wife still cooks as though there's 3 of us.
Yep.
And as though 2 of us eat meat.
Yep.
So she'll cook something, and then I have to eat it for like 5 straight days.
And you're not that kind of guy to do that.
I don't mind eating leftovers a day, maybe 2. But after 2 days of leftovers, I'm usually done. And like, so she made wings for football on Sunday.
Yeah.
And she had made the chili and the hot dogs for, chili dogs on Saturday. So I finally got her to understand that you cannot make 8 fucking hot dogs because I don't want to eat 8 hot dogs. So she made 4. Great. And then she makes like 16 wings. And they're not like B-dubs wings. They're like wings.
Yeah, she's making full freaking
Yeah. So Sunday, I'm like, hey, that pizza we got out in Granville that one time, that'd be good sometime. And she goes, do you want that tonight? I'm like, fuck no, I don't want that tonight. I have 2 hot dogs and a bunch of fucking wings to eat. Oh, well, I thought you were trying to hint. I'm like, I'm going to be eating this shit for days. I finished the hot dogs yesterday.
Yeah.
I still have 2 wings left.
There you go.
And it's not that I don't like them. They were great. But now I want some, and she made tacos tonight, which is great.
Yep.
But I don't want to eat the same thing for 5 fucking days. And my wife does not know how to make small amounts of shit.
Well,
I don't either.
That was the good thing when I had my job.
Mhm.
I mean, I'll remember the day till whatever. Like, I ate a can of beefaroni every fucking day for who knows how long. And then all of a sudden I warm up my bowl and my buddy's got some brats and I was like, damn, that looks good. I was like, I can't fucking do this. And he's like, give me a brat for the beefaroni. Whatever. I was like, fuck yes, let's do this. And but like, I really can. I can go into stints of where I could just chili. I could do it for the full fucking week. If you gave me spaghetti, I'd probably do it for quite a few days. A sandwich. If you gave me a different, like a hammer or turkey sandwich, and you just rotate it out, I could be the brown bag guy who literally. The only thing I need to change up is like I don't want a cheese stick every day.
You're right.
Right. Hey, if you could do kiwis instead of strawberries this time, that'd be great. But like, really, I am the guy who could just eat the same thing all the time. If she packed me tacos every day, I just eat tacos every fucking
Yeah, but
day.
you could eat tacos every day.
Every day of my life.
But I need something different every couple, 3 days.
Nope.
I'm not that guy that can have. She would make pork chops, which is something Caitlin does not like.
Yeah.
And she doesn't eat meat. So she'd make like 8 fucking pork chops.
Yep.
I don't want 8 pork chops. I want 2 fucking pork chops. We're at the store the other day. I bought a ribeye.
Yeah.
One
ribeye.
because that's what I'm gonna fucking eat.
Well, that's like there's certain things I'll do leftovers, but so now
So hubby's like that too. When I would make him meals, like because we eat very different. He loves spicy. He loves vegetables. I'm a very plain Jane. Jake kind of takes after me, and I would make him a recipe according to. I'd make something according to the recipe. Well, it was like for a family of 4. He's like, I cannot eat this for the 4th fucking day in a row.
Mhm.
Like, switch it up. So I kind of got away from cooking for him because I have a hard time having a recipe or, I don't want it to be not enough and then him be hungry, especially when he's at work. I'm here. I work from home. I can just figure it out. He can't, so.
the wheel of death. So we all call it, right? But like, so now when you go to a restaurant, do you order the same thing every time?
No,
See,
it depends on the restaurant.
let's say B-dubs.
Yeah, I don't go there much. I
Okay.
mean, so like, I don't know where I go. If I go to Sakura, because I go there with
Sakura,
you
yep.
sometimes, I order the same fucking thing
The
every time.
exact same thing.
It's because I ordered the
Filet. Yep, with double noodles, no veggies, and rice. With can I have hot and sour soup instead of whatever.
I don't get that.
I'll
fancy.
myself. Like I know my fucking order, right? If I go to B-dubs, I know my order, right? Like
It's depending on the place. I like if I go to Subway,
I know my.
I'm getting a Subway Club.
So I can't say that. I will do a Subway Club, or I'll do a meatball, depending on
See,
how I feel that day.
Once in a while, I will do the Oriental chicken.
It's clever to say, but like, right? Like I am very. It's funny because my wife would be like, "Hey, what do you want from this place?" Babe, I have eaten the same fucking meal every time we go to these places for the past 15
Yeah.
years of our life.
And she gets it wrong, doesn't she?
I don't really care about what she brings home.
So
Say,
my wife,
Yeah.
this is a hill I die on.
Yeah.
If she goes and gets me a donut,
yeah,
I want a custard donut.
sure. Long John.
Yeah.
Nice.
Invariably, she'll buy me a fucking cream filled,
Oh,
which I'll eat the cream.
no.
But that's not what I fucking want.
No, you want
I
custard.
want
can-
custard.
I used to work for a baker supplier. I cannot eat cream filled. I just
I don't
can't.
think anybody can. It's called psycho.
She will
But I
buy
will
it
tell you,
for me.
David,
Yeah.
if you ever come to South Haven and you go to
Maria's.
Golden Brown Bakery, do not get the Long John there,
Okay.
because you're used to that velvety, smooth Bavarian cream,
Yes.
that deliciousness.
Go on.
Theirs is like a
It is like-
curdled mess.
Oh,
And I tried it, and my husband loves them. And I was like, that is most disgusting. I tried it and I was like, this was years ago. I'm like, never again. I will never get a custard filled donut from them ever. I get the caramel Persian when I go there. Those are
mm.
No, I think that's me. I'm the caramel
I was
version.
gonna say, I think that's who you
I couldn't resist that. I will tell you, if Dawn had 99 chances to get me the right donut out of 100, she'd get me the wrong one 99 times
shit.
and the right one once.
Let's say Courtney just gets me the right one every time, which is great.
It must be nice.
It's probably because she thinks Creamfield people are psycho too. Like,
My wife doesn't eat either of those,
yeah,
and she does not like cake donuts.
I mean, I'll do a chocolate cake about once a year.
She only wants the yeast filled donuts, which again, a
Yes.
Long John is
Yeah.
yeast filled, and I want the fucking custard. Stop buying me cream filled.
Yep. No, my I can tell you again, my donut order, right? It's I want a fritter and a Long John.
I do like fritters.
Yeah, like that's just plain and simple how it is. If you go to Ida's, I'll probably do a chocolate covered fritter, but no, like literally, I'm probably the most predictable person that's out there.
See, it's funny because if I go to Sweetwater's, because you know I love Sweetwater's,
Great place.
I will not get the Long John because it's more
No.
expensive.
That's exactly
I'm
it.
such a cheap
Yep.
fuck.
Oh, they have a cheesecake one that's great,
They do.
but
Most of their donuts are great, but the Long Johns are more expensive
Yeah.
than the regular donuts. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll just get a regular donut.
no.
Mind you, their regular donuts are like grasshopper and shit. I mean, they're fancy as shit,
Yeah,
but they're a circular donut
with a Reese
It's-
on top.
instead of this Long John.
So Vanessa, how quick when you started this process of getting out of debt did you start to feel some comfort?
honestly, after I talked to David.
So just the
I'll
same.
be honest.
Nice.
I talked to him. I don't remember if it was a Saturday or Sunday, but I think it was a Saturday. But Sunday, I spent time figuring out what I was spending. And when we had talked, one of the first things that I was going to do was work on the collections that I had. And so Monday morning, I started calling. And so it felt great to have a plan and somebody that understood and to give me focus. That was for me. And then when I started paying things off, it just got better and better and better.
Well, that's what I think the biggest key is start, right?
Because I didn't feel as isolated. I didn't feel as I don't know, it was just the isolation, just the whole the sheer weight of that debt. There was a plan, because before I didn't have that.
Sure. And for some people, having a plan, having a stepping, a stepping path of where to go and how to do it is huge.
You need people that are willing to hold you accountable.
Right.
And not that I was holding Vanessa accountable to anything, but she knew if she called me, I'd give her an honest answer.
And that's the one thing I we both give Dave Ramsey credit on. Like,
Yeah.
they hire people, or they have people that run things, and the successful person will put on their next show, their next like whatever, and they meet up, right? And they do weekly meetings, and it's an accountability group. And never be afraid to seek help on anything, right? I mean, there's always somebody that's willing to. If you don't have the money for it, you can always pay back in some type of a way, right? You know, you come onto a Bucks and Brews episode is how you do it.
Well, and again, we are probably two of the worst businessmen out there.
Yeah,
Because we could charge for the shit we do,
we could.
but we don't. Like,
Like,
I'm happy to sit here and help you out with your debt. It doesn't really matter to me.
Yep.
Nick's happy to help talk to you about how to get started buying houses.
Yep.
It doesn't bother him. The information we have, we should be charging for,
yeah,
but
You know,
we don't.
when Cheyenne came home last April, for the baby shower, we were talking, and she had some things that were on her mind, and I kind of talked her through them because I had more information. Like, I was better off at doing that. And they're in a situation now where James, her fiance, is like, Nick and his wife, it'll be okay. It's fine. It'll be okay. You know, we'll figure it out. Cheyenne is like David, where no, I need a plan. I need to figure it out. But her issue is, you know, I said, you really need to sit down and figure out what you're spending. She's like, I know, I just don't want to admit it. Like, she's in that spot where she knows she has to do something, but she's not quite ready to admit it. I mean, they don't have debt like I do. I mean, she has some debt and she has some things going on that she had questions about. But with her, she needs that financial stability. And so, especially with baby number 2 coming, you know, she was kind of freaking out. And I actually directed her towards one of your earlier guys' episodes. And so she's been kind of watching your podcast a little bit. So maybe I can convince her to talk to you, David, or, you know, just kind of see if you can help her just find that mental stability, not necessarily her financial stability, but help her figure out where she needs to be.
Well, one of the things, you know, that the friend of mine came to me with was, you know, hey, I really don't want to be on the podcast. Hey, that's cool. We don't have to be. Because again, when you wanted to talk to me, Vanessa, did I bring up, hey, come talk to us
Nope.
on Bucks and Brews?
Nope. And even when you put that out there, that you were looking for these people, you didn't ask me, you didn't tag me, you didn't, but when you posted it, I was like, hey, I'll do this. You know, I was ready for that. I was okay with putting it out there because I was in a place that I know a lot of people are at. And if I can help somebody the way you help me, I'm all about it.
Yeah. Well, and I have a good friend that, you know, I know through my Star Wars group, and she's been adamant, you can talk about what we talk about, but you cannot say my name.
Sure.
So I've hinted about, you know, things that her and I have talked about on different episodes, but I've never said her name because she's just not comfortable with it. She doesn't want her family to know, and she doesn't want other people to know. And I'm fine with that. It doesn't matter to me.
Right.
I'm not, you know, I'm not looking for content for this. There's plenty of things you and I can sit here and bullshit about for 2 hours.
Right. We fucking talked about donuts for 30 minutes. This is
Or comic cons. I mean, shit, we talked to Chris for 3.5 hours.
yeah.
But I mean, you know, it's not that we're looking for content. We want to help people. And, you know, sometimes, you know, Vanessa jumped right in when I said, hey, we're going to talk about debt. She goes, hey, you want to talk to me? I'm happy to tell everybody what I was going through. And that was fantastic because now I don't hesitate to go to Vanessa and say, hey, we're talking about something that you want to jump on. Because I sent her that message this week and I'm like, hey, we're going to talk about this. You want to jump on Tuesday? And she goes, what time? And I tell her and she's like, yeah, I'll be there.
Cool. No, that's great. I mean, you know, it's not that we're using it as an example, right? I mean, but that's just
You can use me as an example because if I'm going to help somebody, again, you know, hey, I'm all
Right.
about it.
and that's, you know, that's where the biggest key is you're focusing on it. And we have you on, we celebrate your victories, and I tell you that you could focus and do things, and you're like, yep, but I have these things. Great. I can lead a horse to water. I can't force it to drink. You have to figure out how bad you want it, right? Like, I'll never not give advice to somebody because they didn't do exactly what I said. I don't really like your life. I enjoy these conversations, but that's the only time it impacts me in a sense, right? Like
Mhm.
we're Facebook friends, but like really, if you went right back into debt and lived a huge extravagant life, I'd be like, that's cool, good for them, like awesome. And then, hey, oh, I'm in debt for all those things that you see me do on Facebook. Be like, cool, here's how I get back to it. Hey, like it doesn't affect me, and so that's one thing that we're very good at is, you know,
We can
being judgment free.
Yeah, we can divorce ourselves from that situation. If you
Okay.
don't want to take the advice, that we don't care.
Yeah.
It's perfectly fine with us. It's not like I feel I wasted my time. I gave you information.
Yep.
And if
And
you
I
want to
think
use
that's
it,
why it's good to talk to somebody else, because like David said, a lot of divorces, a lot of marriages end in divorce because of finances.
Mhm.
I couldn't talk to my husband about it at the time.
Right.
I've since been able to, and I've
He stopped
kind
down
of
once.
opened up. Yeah, I've kind of opened up about a few things. He still doesn't know all the things.
well, and I know this, I don't know if you want to share this with Nick or not, Vanessa, but you told me the next time we talk about, your certain money situation, we might have
Mhm.
another guest on with us.
Yes, my husband actually wants to join
No shit.
on the next update. Yes.
No shit.
Yeah.
This is great. So
And that's kind of why I asked David what time, because you have to keep in mind that he works third shift.
we don't care.
And because of everything that's coming up, he's been working. I think this was the third weekend he worked in a row, so he hasn't had a day off since
no, I mean,
since Christmas. He went to work Christmas night and has not stopped.
Oh, and that's like when he has a time that he wants to get up and he's willing to give us our time, David and I will try our best to get
Make
it to
that
happen.
work. Yeah.
Because I mean, just as much as I told you, like you would do so much better if the two of you were on the same page. Yes, but that's not going to work. That's fine. Like I can't force you into it. But right, like that's not how we work.
Even
that's
at
how
this
we do
point,
this.
we can't force him into it.
100%. But like now he's willing, just off of being on 3-4 times now, he's willing to come and say, hey, and then hey, this is what I think. And now he just gave a fucking $50,000 vehicle away. And he's gonna pay for it.
Well,
We only owe 25. It's okay. It's okay.
I don't want to.
It's okay. My daughter's driving a 2020 RAV4, and I'm driving a 2001 Jeep Cherokee that was his grandmother's.
Oh,
Well, I don't want to be presumptuous or anything, but I would assume that, he's seen that you're making positive steps here.
right.
Mhm.
So talking to us may not be a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's great. Like very, very excited for that. That's awesome.
I knew you'd like that. I was
Fucking
saving
great.
that for a good time.
No, and that's now you got me all hot and bothered over here.
It doesn't take much.
Another bearded big dude, drinking
Right.
beer. on
He
air.
fits right in.
Yeah, he's gonna drink Miller Lite though. That son
Yep.
of a bitch.
it's way
He
better
does
than
drink
Bud
liquor.
Light.
He likes
Fuck you.
Kraken. He likes the
Oh, does he?
Kraken burp. Yeah.
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 No.
Oh my God. I saw a tweet today from your new bestie in New Jersey.
Oh, I didn't even know he was on Twitter.
Yeah. I saw the Beer Facts
Oh, nice.
Twitter at work today, but he still hasn't gotten back to me. I think he's embarrassed by that fucking shit show episode. Vanessa, if you ever want to see the worst episode of Bucks and Brews ever, let me know, because it's only available for people I know personally.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's true.
okay.
So now when now you got me all just yep, here we go.
You're
Now
just-
we're gonna
you're
get
just-
focused on that.
Totally lost now, aren't you?
So when you started doing it, and then when you hit your first victory, so what keeps you, I guess, getting back on track? Because you've gone to vacation, which I assume we're not talking necessarily, like I assume your debt isn't going down as much as you would like. What's keeping you on track?
And actually, as I told David, he wanted to do an update. It was shortly after Christmas, and I was like, yeah, not the hottest situation right now. So we've had a couple setbacks. We're working on them. Right before the blizzard, we needed, we're out in the sticks, according to whatever. Even though the gas pipeline, I can literally see it from the end of my driveway. I can see the station. They will not bring it to our house. So we cannot get natural gas here. Okay, so we have propane. And it was shortly before the blizzard. It was like the week before we even knew the blizzard was coming. We were at 20%. And so he called, they wanted over $1,300 to fill our tank, and that would last us maybe until February, maybe. So And of course, right at Christmas time or right after Christmas time, yes, my husband makes good money, but that's a huge hit.
Yep.
And so what we did was we bought a pellet stove. Well, part of it, he paid for part of it, but we had to put part of it on a credit card that, he's working the overtime. We plan on getting that paid off and getting that taken care of. Because of Blizzard and where we're at and having literally a freezer full of meat, like we have to arrange it to get it to close. Where we're at, we lose power all the time. So if we lose power, one, we have no heat. Even if we had propane, we couldn't get heat.
Sure.
And we lose our freezer. We lose thousands of dollars worth of meat. And so
You have
we had
insurance
to
for
buy a
that?
generator. And we had to put that on a credit card. Again, he's working the overtime. He went to work. He had Christmas Eve off, and because he works third, so he went in Christmas night and has not had a day off since. And he plans, they're behind on production, and he does maintenance, so they have to have maintenance there in order to run production. So he's already planning on working this weekend and next weekend, and he's taking the overtime as long as they're offering it to get those paid off and more of my credit cards.
Sure. So do you have insurance that covers your freezer replacement or your refrigerator and freezer?
It probably will, but it's hard to put a value on venison.
Sure.
Yeah, we can replace it with beef, but you really can't put a price on it. Especially since actually my father-in-law actually got 3, because he got 2 during gun season and then 1 during archery season, and we ended up processing his last one ourselves. We did it ourselves. We plan on doing it from now on.
Sure. We processed them as a kid because we were poor. So I remember it was funny. We had a picnic table in the basement that was not finished, and they'd hang. And oh yeah, I mean, I've cut plenty of deer meat in my life.
Yep. And we went out squirrel hunting. I got 3 squirrel this weekend.
Oh,
We did all that.
nope. Hard. Like my redneck stops like venison.
Really?
Yeah.
We do rabbit and squirrel.
I've had rabbit, I've had squirrel. I just don't enjoy the flavor. I don't enjoy the taste. Everybody's like, "Oh, rabbit's so much like chicken." It is not. It is
No,
not.
it's
so
not.
much.
I actually prefer squirrel.
It's so much more grizzly. Like say,
But the first time I tried squirrel, I was pregnant with Cheyenne and down at her dad's family. And so they cook in oil, and they made this gravy. And like I said, I was like a month pregnant. I was just a few weeks. And then I had that, and I vowed I would never eat it again. And I did not touch it for 22 years.
Nice.
And last year we went squirrel hunting. I'm like, take me out and let me shoot things. I'm more than happy to oblige that for you. Like, I will shoot as many squirrels as you want me to shoot, as many rabbits as I can shoot. I'm not eating it. But he said, let me cook it for you. I said, I will try it. And I tried it, and it's pretty darn good.
Good.
So
I could totally give up meat right fucking now.
oh yeah. So it's weird. Like everything but hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
mm-mm.
Love
hot dogs and cheese.
I
But
cannot eat squishy meat. I cannot do it. It's not happening.
Nick and I, we're ultimate fat guys, I would say,
agree.
and Midwesterners too,
Very much.
because I mean, we enjoy meat.
Yep.
But we could not give up hot dogs. We fucking love hot
Yeah.
dogs.
I cannot tell you the last time we bought hot dogs for this house. Jake
I'd
must
had-
have been 2.
I had hot dogs yesterday because I had 2 chili dogs.
Nope.
They sound great.
Can't do it.
I'm about to go
So
down.
good.
I'm
can't
about to
eat
go all the way
bologna,
across
I
town to
can't
Yester
eat-
Dog right now.
I'm not a big Yester dog guy.
It's the only place that's open right now.
I had Nathan's hot dogs, the jumbos with the chili. Oh my god, it was so
You
fucking
guys are
good.
rich.
I do. I buy the expensive hot dogs because I want good meat.
So we talked about this episode, and we've pretty much talked about my whole kind of quick list, right?
Yeah.
And a big huge step that we all agree upon. find out how much you owe and to who, right? Because you need to know what debts you have.
You do.
Be open to talk about getting help, right?
Mhm.
Vanessa, you said that that's one thing that like literally set you on the track to get there. Like talking to somebody else that has their head out of their butt and is doing what I talk about losing weight all the time. I run into a guy who I'm usually drunk on Friday nights. I'm like, man, every time, I gotta come see you, man. I gotta start losing weight. I gotta start losing weight. Dude, come see me. But it takes me to go actually do it, right? I have to want it for myself bad enough. Number 3, right? I want to suggest budgeting to you guys.
Budget.
So know your due dates, when you get paid, how much. But so I'm pretty sure we still have a document for Bucks and Brews for a budgeting thing. We can get that out to you.
You want to know where to get a budget? You just got to find us.
Yep. Because right, I think most people don't know. I mean, even if we talk about budget, they don't know what goes on a budgeting sheet, right? Like,
No,
it's not.
David, can you send that to me?
I absolutely can.
I'll send it to Cheyenne.
So like, right, like it'll break down things. And if you have questions of what things should go into what category, that's one thing I loved about the girl that I listened to on TikTok. I will tell you, she's like, look, I had tires and something else that just went in a miscellaneous category, right? And I was like, great. Like, you didn't know where to put it, but you just put a giant sum of money right here, and that's perfect. Like, who cares? At least you know that you spent the money, right? Like, and you know roughly, hey, these are all just weird things that are one-offs, right? And then one suggestion I'll give people, right, because I like to do that, is what can be bought, what can be bought with lower debt. So again, I'm on this big credit card kick, but like, can you go find, instead of doing a Disney credit card, which is 18%, can you go to a community credit union and get a free rollover for 13%, for 8%, for something lower, right?
In my situation, I can't. I tried that. I went to a bank and I was so excited. They approved me and I was like, yes, I'm rolling over all this credit card. They gave me $1,000.
Right. But
that was it.
But I mean, $1,000 minus 10%.
And that's now paid off. I think I owe $80 left on that, but yeah.
But so you took the $1,000.
I did.
Right. So now,
because it was 0% interest for a year.
So now you close that card and you get another one, right? Because you're not worried about your credit at this moment, right? You're worried.
But I don't have good enough credit to get that, though. That's the problem.
To get another card, you got approved once.
But to get anything higher,
you don't need to get higher.
Anything.
You don't need to get higher. So you roll over $1,000 onto the card, right? And you just go, hey, I'm gonna pay $1,000. I'm gonna take $1,000, and then you get your 0% interest and you pay off that, and then you close that and open another one, and you pay another $1,000 because you're getting 0%. So you're saving 18% interest, 16% interest, whatever it might be. And again, we're not here. To me personally, I'm not here to build your credit, right? I'm here to get you out of fucking debt, so that way we can build credit eventually. I want you to be successful long term down the road. Your credit, I mean, in your situation specifically, you already have a house. Yeah, you guys are going to go get a car. Granted, your husband has better credit, but like, you have everything that you need. You shouldn't be going to credit things, right? Like, you just bought a pellet thing. We can talk about that. Like, you lived your whole life without one. Now you just got one, right? Like, hey, you decided, hey, my freezer's full. I need a generator. Like, if you ask me, do you need it? Like, if that's what you feel you need, but somebody will approve you for it if that's what you need, right? So if that's the biggest key, but otherwise, really $1,000, $1,000 each time. Open 10. If you have $10,000 on your Disney card, go pay the $1,000. Prove to yourself I can pay the $1,000 off. One of the
things I always suggest, is Prosper or Lending Club.
Oh yeah,
because it's peer-to-peer lending.
Yep.
They look at your credit score, but they assign you their own credit score.
Yep.
And I've funded several loans through Prosper. Now, again, you have to fund at least $25.
Sure.
So I would throw $25 in 10 different loans.
Is that an app?
Prosper, I believe, has an app. I always make great returns on it, somewhere between 18 and 22%.
It's huge.
And people were able to pay off debts because they were getting, if they had good credit, they would get a lower rate. If they had, questionable credit, it might be a little bit higher, But for the most part, you would just tell people, hey, listen, I have this medical debt I need to pay off. It costs $10,000. That's what I'm looking for. And you take it out for either 3 or 5 years.
Sure.
So that's always an option to at least consolidate your debt into one spot. And maybe you'll pay less with your interest rate at that. Who knows?
Yep. And that's a great possibility.
Mhm.
We talk about SoFi, right?
Yeah.
For college debt. Right. And to me, I mean, it's easier to build credit than it is to pay off debts,
Mhm.
right? Because I mean, I can get you into a credit card. I can get you into a $500 credit card that you're gonna keep at a very low balance because now you're very centered. You know exactly what to do because it took you that long to get out of debt. Now you're going to do it.
Yeah, you pay $50 a month on it. You know,
Sure.
you charge $50 a month on it and you pay that off.
Yep. Say we'll figure that out later. I'm gonna end up doing Prosper.
It's fantastic. I've made good returns on that, and people have been able to pay off debt with that.
Good.
I mean, again, you have to look what you're looking for. So, like, I always looked for somebody that had guaranteed income. You know,
Yep.
I funded doctors or truck drivers or teachers because they have a guaranteed income.
Yep. And let's say something to look at. But to me, this debt is no matter how much you're in, there's an answer. Whether the answer is you go into bankruptcy and we start you all over,
Mhm.
or whether you start hunkering down and get to where you need to be, right? Because
I've hunkered back down again. I had gotten away from tracking my spending.
Yep.
I'll be honest. I started that again. I've actually put money into my savings. I have a plan that we can talk about off camera because I don't want it known yet.
Sure.
But I have a goal and I have to meet it within the next 2 years.
well, and
End of story.
I say we'll talk about it, and I think we'll have to have another episode. But like you said, I put money into savings. Like, okay, stop telling me that you put money into savings and just do it. So like every month, I don't care, and make it a stupid small amount, or every week, whatever it is. Like, okay, I put no, like $10, right? No matter your worst month possible, you're putting $10 into savings, and you're never touching that savings. It's kind of like a 401k, because if you did $10 for the past year and a half, that's $1,040. Let's just say, right? And your husband and you want a pellet stove, and you say, you know what? I don't want to go into debt anymore. I don't want to do this. We have $1,040. I've done $10 a week for the past 2 years because we started this journey 2 years ago. Fuck it. We wiped our savings. Now we don't have to go into debt for it. Like, or we're going into debt for the generator, not the pellet stove, or vice versa, right? Like,
But see, even the pellet stove, literally a ton of pellets, and the generator was still less than filling our propane tank.
no, I get that. But the whole point is like pay yourself, like do it. Set a
Mhm.
stupid low number. You don't have, like, everybody wants to say 50%, 100%, 80, like literally just set a stupid number that you're never gonna touch ever. Doesn't matter. Like, if you think you can do $20, do $20, do $10. I'm fine with putting $10 away, because that $10 over the court, but your son's 12 now,
He'll be 12 in April.
right? So 12. So think about how stupid it is in 6 years when he goes to graduate, and $10 a fucking week, or however often, $20, for your 2 weeks paycheck, whatever it is. Now you guys go into graduation season, because people don't think, this is how my brain works. My brain thinks so long term. So graduate, he's having an open house. Boom, guess what? I had this stupid savings account that I've put $10 a week away. We didn't touch a thing. And we're serving hot dogs to Nick and David, and it's completely paid for. And you guys can, but like, right? That's what that money's for. That money's for, we have a big thing eventually down our life that we have to pay for, right? So, I mean, so at that point, so we $500 a year. Let's just stupidly do this over 10 years. I mean, that's a big amount of money, right? I mean, you guys, you can get there. You can buy stupid things.
I think the moral of the story is
Just pay yourself.
if you want Nick and I to join you for any of your events. It does not need to be steak and lobster. Just serve some fucking hot dogs and we'll be there.
All right. So you throw me a Bud Light or tell me I have to drink it before I walk down the hill. And be there.
If you come here, we'll do burgers. My husband is just like a master griller.
I mean, we can eat that too.
Yeah, say, but like really, like, don't tell me I'm not trying to be angry at you. That's the advice I'll give you is, oh, I put money into savings. No, you should be putting money into savings no matter what, because that $10 shouldn't be your lifeline. That should just be a guaranteed that's going away, that's going there, right? And people don't realize how little $10 is and how much it can
The
be.
problem is they think it's a lot of money because everybody's living paycheck to paycheck.
No.
But it's the same thing I tell them when they get hired in at a company.
Throw your 401k.
They're giving you a 401k. They're
Mhm.
going to match it. You're not going to miss that money because you didn't know you were getting it in the first place.
Oh yeah, and that's like, especially the young kids, right? I mean, older people and you lost a job and you're going to a less paying job. I understand your stresses and your frustrations, but really, I mean, we can get you to this point, right? Because you're going to get used to it. We are people that will always live to what we need, right? We'll always find a way.
Well, you know, I was talking about my near-death experience.
Yeah.
And I made the comment in front of Dawn that, you know, if I drop dead, you're not allowed to give any of my shit away. And she goes, but there are people that really care about you and they'll want a piece of you. Fuck them. I mean, I love my friends, but seriously, fuck them. Because Caitlin, whatever she doesn't want, can turn around and sell all of my collectibles and probably net $200,000-$300,000. You know, I do this all the time. I have 3 Carrie Fisher signed pictures.
Yep.
They all cost me $60.
Yep.
I could sell every one of them now for a minimum of $700.
Yep.
So you're going to hand that to somebody? Bullshit. You're not handing that to anybody. And my good friends wouldn't take it.
But I'm taking stuff from you though.
Yeah, you can have all the cheap shit that I don't want, or that Caitlin don't want.
I'm getting Dale and Brennan.
You can have that. She will give you that,
Okay.
and she will be perfectly happy. Even if Dale and Brennan are $100 a piece, they would be happy to give you them.
Oh, I know. I didn't ask. But
And for anybody out there that doesn't realize, it's my stepbrother's Funko Pops that
Yeah.
Nick wants.
yeah. But so, you know, people that are still with us, like, understand that you're not alone. There's a million people that have gone through it. I mean, right. I mean, I've been in more debt than some people. I mean, currently I'm in crap tons of debt. I deal with it. Like, mine is what I would call personal educated debt.
Mhm.
I've also been in college debt of, I don't remember what my debt was, 7K. Like, I took college debt. I'm not afraid to admit that because it was forced on me like Caitlin's was.
Yeah.
'Cause it wasn't, granted, every CC, I went and had to pay my semesters. Davenport's just like, here, we'll give it to you. And I was like, I guess, okay. No, you paid all at the end. And I was like, all right.
Not realizing.
Yeah, I know. I was young and stupid, right? I really was. And you know, I mean, I never really had. I carried debt on a credit card for a little period of time because that's what I was told. That's how I was educated. Hey, you go get a $500 college credit card, and then you have to carry a little debt on it and let them make money on you, so that way you build credit. And I was like, okay, so I spent $200, and now my payment's $27, and I paid them interest. So I gave them money, and so they gave me credit, and I was like, cool. So I'm not afraid to have given credit card companies money because that's how I was taught how you build
Do
credit.
you want to know when credit card or credit scores started?
Like 1995,
I want to say it was around the time you were born. I want to say it was like 88,
Yeah, yeah.
89.
probably, right?
Because there was no need for a fucking credit score up until that point.
Right. 'Cause you could get a 9 or my mom bought my house or her house, you know. I was 1 year old, so I was been 1989, and I think they paid $30,000. My grandparents paid $9,000 for their house, or $7,000. Courtney's grandparents paid, no, they might have paid 7, and my grandparents paid 11.
I think my house down in Plainwell.
Yeah,
I want to say in 1972 they spent 25,000 on it.
but that's a fucking that's
That-
a mansion,
It is.
and it has land and a pond.
It does.
Right? Like, let's be clear on what we're.
It's on 5 acres and it's
Right.
5,400 square feet.
Right, it's a fucking massive house.
It is.
You know, I mean,
it wasn't that when they bought it, because I mean, they added on to that
Sure.
house.
but still, I mean, you know, and go try to buy it now, right? I mean, I'll give them 17,000 for it because that's about all it's worth.
I mean, it appraises around 290.
Yeah. So, you know, I mean, just realize that you're not alone in this game. There's a million people that are willing to give you free advice.
Well, and we're happy. I mean, message us.
Yeah,
We're
100%.
happy to talk to anybody about their debt issues.
And you don't have to come on here, and we won't
Don't.
share your name. And if we do share anything, we'll just call you Jim Bob or
That's
Su-
my friend's name.
Susie
My
Joe.
friend's name is Jim Bob.
Jim Bob and Susie Joe.
If you want to hop on our Discord, find the debt help channel that I created. We'll hop on there. I know Vanessa's part of our Discord. We don't really use Discord very much, but I mean, if people engage, we are happy to come and engage.
Yeah, I mean, I just, you know, somebody joined the other night and I waved back because I
Yeah.
had a notification. I was like, all right, I'll wave. That's an interaction because, you know, that's who we are.
Yeah, we're here to help.
And say, you know, and I'm sitting with people Thursday morning at 9:30 in the morning, right? Like, hey, this is where I want to be. This is what I'm doing. Okay, we'll get you there, right? Any other last thoughts from you, Vanessa?
I was just going to ask that.
No,
Good.
just I guess, you know, people who are in debt, they kind of disassociate themselves with their friends, and they're reclusive. I want to share a little thing that actually Cheyenne does with her friends. Once a week, they get together and they just have a friends night and they play games, and everybody brings something to share to eat. And every week somebody else is responsible for something. And it's not a lot. So like, you know, one person is bringing hamburgers, the other person brings buns, and, you know, like that. And I think that's a good way to kind of find somebody or a group of friends that you can do that with. So you are not going out to dinner and spending money and then going into that cycle of debt. You know, you still need that break, that escape, that interaction. You know, find something that makes you happy, that doesn't cost a lot of money. That's important, because you still need to do things. If you sit home and say, I'm not going out, I'm not doing this, you are going to be miserable. You cannot sustain that before you just go buck wild and spend a whole bunch more money, because you can't take it anymore. So you need that mental break.
No, I mean, that's great advice.
It is.
As always, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your family. We're here to help.
What all did you have besides the two we knew about?
Bud Light Seltzer, and then the Rogue,
Raspberry. Landia.
Yep. And then I moved on to peanut butter. Then this chocolate porter was not great. I actually ended up mixing it with my Rogue raspberry.
Did it make it better?
J. It was, you know, I say it was fine. You guys seen my face, my expression, the English style mild. Not a great beer. Was not saying. There was something funky I didn't love, and then I ended up with the low funk sour ale, which I absolutely loved. It was a great amount
Very
of sour.
sour.
Yes. So, you know, I mean, this Mobcraft, they're doing great. I've enjoyed my box. You can't have a home run of everything you do.
I enjoyed the peanut butter porter from Elk mixed with the triple jam from Blake's, and then I mixed the Rourke in as it was lowering. So all three were very good, as always. So we'll be back. Are we back next week? Nick's trying to figure out when he's going on vacation.
I think my answer is no. Yes.
Next week's okay.
24th is good.
Okay, so we'll be back next week. We'll figure out what the hell we're talking about probably over the weekend, because that's what we do. Again, thank you, Vanessa, for joining us. You'll stick around for a minute here after I shut off record. And for everybody else, you know, again, if you want to join our Discord, please do that. We will help you talk about your debt and how to get out of it, give you support. Anybody else, if you have show ideas, we're always open to listen to what you have to say. So
Very much.
thanks for joining us, and we will talk to you guys again very, very soon.
You've dialed in.
To Bucks and Brews, you might hear something
You can use.
like tips on your cash or tips on the suds.
You're gonna want to
The
use.
smarts of these
Cause
studs.
they know the
And
brews.
they know the Bucks, and they know they can't help the stubborn fucks.
So listen up, cause shit's not funny.
Save yourself some
Beer money. Bucks.
and brews.
Bucks and
Bucks
brews.
and brews.
Brews.
Bucks and brews.